Hey guys, so we're up to tip number 1, which is part of my 3 quick tips for Overwatch. And the first tip is work with your sensitivity settings, work with your reticle, practice at the practice range with the new settings. Alright, so the reason this is important is because you need to be able to look left and right fairly quickly, but still have stability on where you're aiming. And you also want to be able to turn around with some ease, okay? You don't want to have to struggle. If you gotta struggle bus it to get yourself turned around, then you need to work on your settings, either upping them or being able to move your mouse a little bit quicker, whichever. But this is all stuff that you can practice at the practice range. I'm not going to get too much into the numbers because the DPI setting and the sensitivity setting all depends on the person, how much experience they have, whatnot. For me, my sensitivity setting is at 6. I can't remember what my DPI is, so I'm just not even gonna go there. I'm sure it was probably some pro setting that I looked up, because there's plenty of sites out there for pro settings if you want to give those a whirl. But the best advice I ever got about settings for almost any shooter or game was you put it on settings. You use the pro settings as a guider, but you put it on the setting that is comfortable for you, which made sense to me. Because what the pros use is what is comfortable for them and what seems to work within the game. So in a way, you can kind of think of it as settings that are tailored to you. As for the reticle, you want to make sure that you can see it on your screen at all times, so you want to pick a reticle that works for you so that you know where you're pointing at all times. Because if you start losing your reticle on the screen, that's not good, because then you could be like all over the place. Where you want to try and get those headshots in when you can, neck shots, whatnot, even body shots. Heck, I always was like, why not body shots? Well, that's not your main goal, but if you can do it, do it. you know. But yeah, you want to try and go for the headshots though, because those headshots are what will bring your ultimate up faster. Okay, so now we're up to tip number 2, which is learn some characters. Overwatch is a counter game as far as I'm concerned, so you need to learn more than one. I know a lot of people do want to just play one character, and I'm not gonna harp on them because that is how they play their game. But in this game, if everybody's on, I believe if everybody's on the same skill level, okay, and sometimes this doesn't happen, but if everybody's on the same skill level, that counter is going to make a difference. So it's good to learn a few characters, but also with this, recognize when you cannot play a character, and don't put your team through it. I mean, if you just know you can't, don't do it. I know sometimes there's like times that I want to go, I want to just play D.Va. That's all I want to play. That's all I'm gonna play. I don't care what's on the other side. And then there'll be a Zarya. And if my mind does not switch off a D.Va because that Zarya is kicking my butt, now I'm actually not helping my team. We have to figure out that this is a team game. And sometimes I am not a team player. It happens. But I still have to kind of think that in the end it's better to help the team so that I can help myself get to where I want to be. Putting the team in jeopardy and not making wise decisions is not helping. So I would say, if you want to help your team even more, learn a handful of characters. Maybe start off easy, like, learn 3 different tanks, or learn 3 different DPS, or learn 3 different heals. That way you can switch if you need to. And then go from there. And then if you have enough time, like I did, then you can start learning and branching out past there. Now, it is said that I am better on heals or on tanking. Sometimes it's even more so heals than anything. But I do know how to play each class, so I know a handful of tanks. I know a handful of DPS. I know a handful of heals if I need to. I learned basically, I knew that I was going to be good at healing because I'm just generally good at support. So I went out my way and I made sure that I learned all the healers except for like one. So yeah, if I have to switch, I can switch. If people are yelling in my eardrums to switch, I can switch. With healing, anything's possible. So that's that's the kind of thing you want. You want to have that freedom to be able to switch if you have to switch instead of feeling the pressure and going, okay, I can't switch because all I know how to do is heal on Mora, or all I know how to do is heal on um, Anna. There that's where the pain comes in. Is if you can only do one thing and you need to be able to do more than one thing. So, anyways, that's my tip. It's just learn more than one character and learn it fairly well, if not excellent. Okay, so we are up to tip number 3, which is the very last tip for our Overwatch tip video here, or 3 quick tips, which is communication. Communication is very important in the game. I honestly don't care how you communicate as long as you're communicating. So, it's kind of one of those things. I've opened up myself enough now that, like, every once in a while, I will jump in and I will give people various ways to let me know what is going on, what they need changed. You have to be able to work with people a little bit. But, sometimes there are days that I'm just, once again, it's just like I'm not a team player, but you have to try. I can say games go way, way better when people are able to communicate with me than the days that there is no communication. And I still go by this, any communication is better than none. So there's your quick tip. Remember to communicate in Overwatch because you might see that one thing or be able to tell your team about the one thing that may change the game that might actually get you a win instead of having it be a fail. So that's just something else to think about. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the tips video, and hopefully some of the tips help you make your way through Overwatch. I know this is a lot for beginners, but it's a good reminder for some of the old players too. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the little tips video.